Right, hopping on YouTube. We'll go ahead and see if it's picking up the background audio and how that sounds. Wait, it looks like it is. Alright. So today's been an interesting day. Mainly countering the effects of severe insomnia with some coding. I've restructured my setup a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and grab this video ID, populate Kynto, so it starts pulling YouTube comments, and then I'll explain what the system is. Thanks in technology. Try to find folks that are interested in code, working on codey things. We are trying it with a little background music tonight. So the system is live for YouTube live comments. One of the next focuses will be integrating the system also to Twitch. There was one time where some folks came on and chatted. That was pretty cool. Usually I have better luck with Twitch, bloody YouTube. See, the insomnia is getting to me. Usually I have better luck with YouTube. But not so much recently. That's okay. Coding anyway. No idea in this environment. I exist on this bloody planet. As interesting as it is. I've been reading way too much into the solar system and the various different worlds we have around us. I'm kind of fascinated by the ocean moon planets. Wondering how I can pull that into Kynto here in the avatar chat. But we'll take it slow. Let's see. Yeah, just got to deal with the bit indeed. Not much I can do about that. Funny enough, the more tired I get, the more I'm able to work on difficult or large coding tasks. It's not always the case for work, but when it comes to personal projects, it sure is. I'm just, I don't know, maybe part of it as well. Broken frames. Still debugging what the hell is going on with that. Anyway, talk a little bit about what I've got going on here, and we'll jump into some code. So obviously, I'm the coder here. I'm the dev behind Kynto. That's what you see. This little game world. Why is it not showing on Twitch? So what's going on here? Figure that out. It's behind everything. That's not good. Pull this down. Okay, that's much better. So we're setting this wee stream up. It got me thinking I need to do some overlays to kind of explain what this whole mess is. I just have some static ones for tonight. Yeah, it's running like shite. Probably because I'm... I guess this will be a wee debug session. Used to be working now, but we'll see how long that lasts. Alright, so today I'm working on continued upgrades to the peer-to-peer chat system. We're working with WebRTC and React. Users can share their screen, they can share their desktop, and they can also have control computers with it as well if you install the Steam app. Kind of my own RDP implementation. It has full YouTube live chat integration, so if you type commands into the chat or just talk, it'll spawn a wee avatar on the bottom of the screen there. You can actually move it about as well. All these little rooms are user generated. Some of them are generated with procedural generation, other ones are generated by AI, but the vast majority I just put together one tile at a time, one item at a time. You can influence the stream in this whole coding process. I'm streaming basically building an update, so I'm working on coding various features, fixing various bugs. This whole point is to put together an update that I'll release to production, and then we'll switch over to creating some overlays for OBS. We're going to go the web route there, take advantage of CSS animations, we're going to take advantage of WebGL, we're going to take advantage of the tools that I know best. So I've got my Steam Deck set up over here on the desk. It's quite good for helping me test everything. It's got a nice touch screen on it. I've even got a development environment set up in it, so basically replicated what I've got running on my computer here. I have a wee install script, it basically pulls everything down, installs necessary dependencies, sets up Docker, and spins up the containers, populates the local database. If you have any questions about what the hell I'm coding, or just want to talk about the game development in general, it's always fun. It's not just a game though, it's got streaming tools, everything all that like that built in. Let's see if I can control the right bloody mouse here. So this is the old version of the stream panel here. It lets you share your microphone, your camera, your desktop, your screens. You can do calls on it, you can send files over it, and it's all peer-to-peer over WebRTC. WebRTC has been an interesting technology to work with. Not had many opportunities to professionally to utilise it, although I've suggested it a couple of times at work. For the past year or so, I was moved from Vue development to Swift, so I got experience there, putting together native apps. Completely self-taught here. This is coding's great. You don't need money to put things together, and I figured that out at a young enough age that I was able to do some things with it. Alright, so as I mentioned, you've got your wee avatars here. So jump, you've got a jump command in the chat. You can update your coding if you type wardrobe. There's various items that you can be as well as these wee human avatars. There's so much here. I started coding a chess game. I got into chess quite heavily, but didn't finish it, although I have a room set up for it. The main focus is basically taking this whole chat UI that I created around the WebRTC. We're just using React Bootstrap here. I'm quite a fan of that. Of FA icons, FA icons, I forgot what they're called. You have to bear with me. So essentially what we're doing here is we have React stacked with a canvas. That's where the game layer exists, and WebGL is also responsible for rendering. I've done some interesting projects recently, such as taking the web camera and using that to assemble items, tiles, to represent pixels. So one of the ideas there was like using my hand as a game element to swipe shite out the way. That would lead into doing some interesting stuff with 2.5D physics. But I'm going to step away from that for a wee bit because I'm really focused on actually making this a chat that I want to use. Right. So we're going to hop over here. Hop over to the bloody development environment. Come on, buddy. Problem with having multiple machines set up, I'll try to use one keyboard and mouse. If you don't want to use a keylogger such as Barrier, Synergy, or any of that, you've got to do it old school. So this text is all the way blown up for me. It's going to be bloody difficult to work with, but that's okay. We've got a big fat list of files on the left hand side here. These are changes that I have to go ahead and review that I've done. A lot of times I come here and I code something and I forget and I move on about my day. Great thing with source control is I can see exactly what chaos I've been up to. So I'm just going to start with that. Got tabs here. So as mentioned, we're just using Bootstrap for components. Also using chat scope IO for predefined UI elements for the chat. Although I will be phasing that out. So if I go in the development environment over here, you can see I've got the OBS virtual webcams, the background of this room. That's because if you share a video and you enable it, you can actually make the background of your room a live stream or a live video source. There's all sorts of interesting applications for this. You can use like a peer-to-peer camera system, you could use like a bloody phone as a camera, or whatever you want. You can assemble a YouTube show. So if you have two different angles, I'll show you this. Like right here, I have two different bloody phones. I can stream wirelessly, I don't have to worry about plugging it in. I don't have to bother with NDI and OBS, it's all just contained in one single module. And you can control scene switching and all that from here. So I've been working on this, cleaning this up a wee bit. It's not a dark theme, but you can move into the direction of making it more akin to Discord or Slack, as opposed to just being a static room chat. So all these people on the left here are people I can have conversations with, or had conversations with. You've got mechanisms to send notifications via web push. We've also got the ability to do peer-to-peer chat, because that's just baked into the cake now. We do have an AI tab up here with predefined AI personas. Like for example, I've got a Kynto developer that I use as a debugger, but he's disabled right now because I am moving everything about. One of the focuses here was getting more dynamic settings in, so you could configure exactly how you want to have this laid out. So for peer-to-peer, so that's enabled right now. I could go ahead and disable that, so if I chat and no one's in a room, the AI would respond. I could disable this popover. Bloody hell, it's still doing it. Alright, so now it's just a model, I can't drag it about now. I'm going to go ahead and just re-enable that. Beautiful thing to view and react, so you don't have to worry about manipulating or listening to the DOM as much. Working with the virtual DOM, enable, boom. Put that dragging about. It looks like I have this set up to automatically open when I reload. So say someone sends me a message, I get a notification on my phone. Hello, with a message. Pop right in, opens up the chat. We have media sources built right in already. So the cameras here. Let's see if we pick up this body phone. I don't want to go through my face here. Didn't get much sleep. I'm going to do iPhone virtual. Alright. There's a wee CRT with Stargate on it. This is all wireless, it's beautiful, it's over WebRTC. You can see it just sets the background of the wee world there. So I actually use this to assemble streams now. It's much easier than fanning about the cables. It's quite responsive. I can go ahead and share my screen from my Steam Deck as well, which I will do. Just bloody show you how cool is that. Entire screen. We'll show our secondary screen. Now, if you look at this madness, let me select this actually. Select this as the main camera view. Oh, looks like that just dropped out. That's okay. Go ahead and reshare. This is also making sure there's no crazy bugs part of this process in it. I'm just going to open up on my phone instead of just relying on the iPhone Wi-Fi camera there. So open up my phone now. Opens right into the chat. Just going to go ahead, give it permission to share my camera. We'll pick the back triple camera. Should pop up momentarily. Oh, I'm in the wrong room. Yeah, there's all different rooms in here. We're only chilling in one room tonight because that's what's hooked up to YouTube comments, which has been absolutely banging tonight. You guys have been so talkative. What room are we in? We're in Apple. So this is a room that's used for Apple to verify that the app works. There we go. So we're sharing desktop and we have it on camera. I'm still tweaking about with the codecs a wee bit here to make sure it's working smoothly. I can just dynamically click which I want and it'll set the background of the room to be that. Look at this chaos, man, it's beautiful. Doing life running in the background. Steam Deck. I do have this configured as a development environment as well. Let me see if I can get that shit out. Should go down there. We're running Docker with Kalima. It looks like it runs a VM and then the containers run inside of that VM, which is kind of interesting. This is a x64 x86 system, so I don't get why it's to VM or whatever. I did just stick with Steam Deck desktop, not bothered escaping from that or installing Windows. I kind of just wanted to show that it's easy enough to develop on this thing without breaking out of their little world. The biggest problem I ran into is port 80 and port 443, which is HTTP and HTTPS respectively, are privileged ports. So without running sudo, essentially, you can't capture those ports, and we're using Docker to do a reverse proxy to route everything we need. So we've got WebSocket servers running that kind of manages the world here and sets up connections, even though it is peer-to-peer and runs majorly in the client. We do still need WebSockets. We need to, keep a list of rooms. We need to keep a list of users, who has what, who's been where, all that good stuff. Forgot what's going with that. But you can just switch about. Okay, so yeah, we just ended up using IP tables to route to other ports for 80 and 443, and I was able to get my development environment running on the Steam Deck, so that's pretty cool. It's also a brilliant wee device for testing. I really like it. So scrolling. Okay, I'm gonna put this bloody phone down so I can code a wee bit though. Oh, I can shit. Never mind. I was thinking it might be picking up audio twice, but I'm in with my development environment, so it shouldn't be going into the stream. You can hide and show camera sources dynamically. You can mute it, you can switch all about. There is also a feature to take your face and map that onto an avatar at time, so for like facial reactions and shit like that. That works pretty good. However, I did disable that because I don't think a single person's bloody used it. That's alright. So what we're looking at, I'm going to go ahead and terminate the screen share via WebRTC. If you just joined, this is a custom world I've coded. There's a ton of stream features. It takes advantage of the web. The web is extremely powerful. It always has been, but it's got even more so over time. So this is kind of what we're dealing with here. We've got friends as. I need to get rid of this back button. It's only supposed to show that if you come in via this pathway, if I click friends up here, it should present a little sidebar up here. You can change your friends list and you can chat with people that way. But you also have this chat right here. If you click that, it opens up like a wee stream panel. Go ahead and drop us a like or subscription if you're going to be watching me explain this at 2:52 AM. I'm about to drop off anyway. I've not done too much code committing, so I might have to do that. Let me have a wee look. We'll commit something. It gets too late. So it's a component I coded, so you could select an audio output device for your camera sources, rather than just relying on your system. This is not supported by iPhone. Apple has not implemented that on their end, but it does work on Android, it does work on Chrome and Firefox and desktops. It's worth pushing out. There's a lot of features that I've coded here that are not supported on all devices. That's okay, it's web, you just handle it gracefully, let the people that can use a feature use it, and then the other ones that can't. Like for example, if we pull up the screen share tool right here, on web, you just see a wee static icon, right? It says desktop, and it gives you a drop down, you can share desktop. If you run this as a Steam app, it gives you a nice wee icon list with all the little screens that you're running on your computer. That's an example of just gracefully falling back and handling people that are not running the Steam app, because most won't. But the people that do, they're going to have a little bit more features. That's good. You want to incentivize people to install your game, install your app, but you don't want to turn away anyone that is happy to just get on and see what it is. So this is available at Kynto.io or Kyntoparty.com. So the lighter colours here are new lines, the dark colours are lines that have been moved. I'm colourblind, so I can't tell you what's what. Actually, this looks like it's just an icon generation, it's fine.
Testing chat read out.
Beautiful. So if you look right here, there's an avatar that spawned behind the tree. That is my YouTube comment. If I click this button, you'll see it says YT_codelock. That's my YouTube username. That just reads out in real time. It'll come through. There's a polling duration of 5 seconds.
What's up, YouTube?
The guy's crazy. One of the things I want to add is when someone does chat, I want to add a wee effect. It's going to temporarily zoom into that avatar. So say, he's behind the tree there. You just about see him. You see that guy? You see his face. But what it'll do is someone types in a message, it's going to say, Tom says, "What up, YouTube?" It's going to zoom into Tom temporarily, highlight his chat message. As soon as it's done, it's going to snap back out and put the room back up here. Someone else says something. Say I said something down here. I'll go zoom into me, and then I can say my message like, not much. Hi. It's not going to read that out because this is the instance I'm sharing. You're not supposed to read out your own messages. You can jump over obstacles, you can walk about, you can change your avatar. If I go into avatar up here, and there's a command for all this on YouTube and soon to be Twitch, where you can customize your avatar. Like, I'm going to give myself short hair today. Some gold pants on, and keep those. Let's go shitless. In Florida after all. So you can do all that from YouTube as well. Lovely. Florida man. Just before I carry on, because we're running out of time here. We've got a navigator list, that's what I call this. Actually, what a hotel called there, it's kind of store. You can't see it there, that's okay. It's a room list, it contains all the rooms in the world. One guy created a map of Italy, for example. It's pretty impressive. You can put items, you can do all that. But the main thing that I care about is just integrating with YouTube, hooking it up so you can chat, you can move around. And secondary to that, so I could invite other people to share their screen. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you probably have me. Walter and I played a game or two of chess, and he was able to share his camera and his microphone completely just using Kynto, which is beautiful for WebRTC. Didn't have to use like bloody Skype, right? We're not using that anymore, we just killed it off. We don't have to use GoToMeeting or bloody Teams or Discord or whatever you guys do. Wanted non-solution, that's what inspires me to code. Back to coding, at least looking at it. Got a lot of changes to the top level here. It's going to be hard for you to see that, so yeah, it's me wants to make good decisions here. Try to explain what I'm doing as I go. So
the music is too loud to focus on what you're saying.
Oh, I appreciate that. Need to get that down a bit.
Waving hand.
Hopefully that's a wee bit better. Hello, Gift Lamptey. Talking some code tonight. As you can see, your messages are read out in this little virtual world. Coded this. You can share your cameras, screen, stuff like that. You can host little YouTube live streams with other people this way. So, Walter, he's came on a couple
What are
of
you
times
up
this
to?
way. Well, I'm supposed to be getting ready for bed, honestly. Bloody underslept, overworked, I think. Coding. So, it's a custom little YouTube integration I've coded. And you can see the bottom of the screen, right? Like that's your character. So you just said, what are you up to? Hello PH Designs LLC. It sounds like you got a cool name, so you probably got interesting stuff going on. Gift lamp today, let me see. PH Designs right here. Let me move back to view. So this is why I'm going to code a little effect to make it jump around to who actually spoke, so I don't have to manually need to scream about.
Game development.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And hello.
Game development, we also have streaming tools, so peer-to-peer, WebRTC, so you could have other people on and stuff, and it's all kind of wrapped into this little virtual world. But yeah, it all starts with game development. And hello to you. Curious what time it is where you're at.
It looks really cool.
Appreciate that, I really do. It's brilliant.
What libs are you using besides React?
So libraries I'm using beside React we could actually pull up the package.js on here, but basically we're using Peer.js, which just wraps WebRTC. It's not exactly required, but it makes the APIs cleaner. We're running Node.js for the back end here. WebSockets, so we've got instantaneous communication outside of the peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer also utilizes WebSockets as well. And we're also using Phaser, which basically gives us a nice wrapper around WebGL and Canvas. And I'm not always streaming, but I'm trying to, because I'm coding this bloody thing a lot. I've been working on it a while. That's what I was doing tonight, was committing some changes and upgrades to make the chat system more familiar. It's like a messenger alternative or whatever. Kill this music a wee bit.
Cool. Thank you for the rundown.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Appreciate the questions. Oh, up now, local environment.
Beyond what I do, haha.
Well, that could change, but I'm curious, what do you do? What have you, what do you like working on? My battery died, well, nice. No. Just tidied up all my bloody cables, so it's a wee bit, probably a message to go to bed, eh? But appreciate having folks actually interact, like ask questions about what's going on here. It's often speaking into the void.
I design for Kratom shops, e-commerce. More so an editor because I can read code better than I can write.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, actually, I was involved with the American Kratom Association for many years. I was a founding CTO, funny enough. But that's what I focus on now. Is that good business these days? Are you working with PHP? Are you working with WordPress? Right.
Actually, I want to work on personal UI library based on web components.
Let's get me one of these.
But CSS scares. Well, I have clients making $500K per year, so it's good.
Oh, just got to mention one of the changes that I'm making. You should be hearing your your messages be read out. It's going to give you guys unique voices, so I think that'll be good. And I'll also say your username. But how to master CSS, such that it could be a pro at creating complex animation based on pages that are responsive as well. That's a good question. I think the first thing is just kind of starting with something you want to do that's fun. Like
CSS is ancient and there's a bunch of different conflicting suggestions.
What do you mean about that, Tin? It is definitely ancient, but they've definitely added a lot to it.
I love CSS, but I hated learning it.
When I started with CSS, we didn't have any curved corners or anything like that. We had to use bloody cut up images.
CSS
for, like,
is endless,
corners. It is.
The learning never ends with code.
That's absolutely true. PH Designs, it does not. I've been coding since I was 11 or 12 years old. Stuff like this actually is kind of why I got into it. Obviously, like, I do it professionally for a job, and this isn't the sort of stuff I work on there. It's mostly like e-commerce and apps and stuff. But Flexbox, good start. Grid. I think playing with animations is fun though. Like there's I can't tell you any, but there's little sandbox sites where you can just quickly play around. You don't have to
I started on Windows 95 LOL.
Oh, that's early. You got any experience with the visual, what's it, VB Basic, Visual Basic? That was one of the first things we were exposed to. The servers back then for games like this, a lot of the kids at the time were coding them in VB6. And it was interesting.
VB, yes.
Well, I'm champion. It sounds like you might want to move.
Do you teach others, and can I learn from you?
You might want to move to WebGL and Canvas, because you have way more control than you do in CSS, like pixel by pixel control. GIF Lamptey, I'm definitely definitely open to that. I'm happy to take a feature or something that sticks out or suggestions and really work through how I would implement it. But big shout out to Canvas Tech. The power is in Canvas. Damn,
I want to learn Flutter.
Let's pull up Flutter. Alright, mouse is back. I do like working with web for this reason. Build one code base, use it everywhere. That's kind of my. I like doing that with native apps as well. Sometimes, you know, with clients or companies, you're not going to push them to just have a native app that's basically.
What languages are you fluent enough to edit or source from?
Right, let's start off at the top. JavaScript, PHP, C#. Swift UI, Objective-C, and definitely a handful more, but those are the ones that I've most recently had to work in, like the past month or so.
Yes, I did make a fighting game and drawing app via Canvas API. Do you teach others, and can I learn from you?
GIF Lamptey, definitely.
What you are building now?
Binary Express. So this wee chat that we're having right here, this is Canvas, this is WebGL, this is that. Sorry, it's 3:10 AM. Underslept. It's tied into YouTube, WebSockets, nodejs, bunch of stuff like that. I'm basically just building a place where we could talk about coding projects. And
What is your name on Discord?
let me see, actually.
I was thinking of setting one up. I think I might have one set up, but I've not done anything
PHP,
with it.
Java, HTML, CSS, Lua, XML, and SQL.
So Lua, so that tells me you do some like game plugins maybe. I remember the first exposure I had there was a San Andreas multiplayer. Yeah, he had support for Lua. That was fun times. Samp.
WoW servers.
Okay, makes sense.
How do you build game assets?
so that's the most.
That's the thing I struggle with. I'm using art that's bloody ancient from like projects I've worked on as a kid. I'm not lying. I'm much better with the UX and stuff like that. I'm working on UI. I have way more control over that. You're gonna run into that struggle. Like you're gonna have to work with an artist. You're gonna have to use existing assets that are out there, or you're gonna have to familiarize yourself with something like, in this case, 2D pixel art. You can get away with it, or vector art, or even 3D modeling. But I haven't delved into that yet. So I do have a Discord. Let me see if I can.
Model in CAD software.
You have any suggestions on the CAD software? Like, I know that Blender supports it, but I haven't.
I used Shaper 3D.
Shoot 3D, let's see.
How can I be a proficient developer like you? And what is your stack of learning? Blender and FreeCAD. No.
DevMart, how long have you been coding? And what languages do you know right now?
I see.
Have you guys heard of Pico 8? My girlfriend, she got into that. She doesn't have any familiarization with coding or anything like that, but she got into Pico 8. And it has a little 3D modeler. And she was able to do some cool stuff with that. Okay, so I messed around a wee bit with a 3D printer I got out there that looks... This looks interesting.
What is that used for? Modeling is easier if you're already a woodworker or engineer.
That makes sense. It definitely does. Need to come across. What sort of stuff have you modelled? Have you modelled anything interesting you could talk about? Let's see if I can. It's a crappy site, forgive me. Let's see if I can get the Discord though.
It's math after all, haha.
That's true. You gotta get your caliper out. Can't pronounce it, but I don't think links work, but I'll drop it.
True.
So there's a Discord. It's for the project, not so much the channel here, but we could start there. And
Oh, RS at RuneScape, very nice. Any you guys familiar with Abotel? That's literally what got me into getting interested in coding when I was a kid. Polls closed.
How can I copy your Discord code frowning face?
That's a good question. Let's see. Maybe I could put it in the description of the video.
Love RuneScape. I have 99 prayer LOL.
Pop this in the description just so it's there. Very, very cool.
That should be nice though.
So I'm champion. Did make a fighting game and a drawing app with Canvas API. Well, so let me pull that up actually, because I did a wee paint app in Kynto.
How many members are there in Discord?
God, I think there's like 6. But I think it's mostly people interested in this kind of stuff. I have a little paint app here. I coded it just with HTML and CSS. It's not Canvas. It's really simple. Let me see. Where is it? Avatar. We also have a synthesizer I coded in here. I might have to move the screen up so you can see what I'm trying to show you. Justice. Here.
What are the stack you lean to be a proficient developer and how should I start?
Well, for me personally, I'm a JavaScript guy, like through and through. I work with many other languages out of that, and I've learned to be a better JavaScript developer working with other strongly typed languages, like specifically with native. But I mean, I can tell you what people are hiring for. And they're hiring for Vue and React when it comes to JavaScript. Never really got into Angular or anything like that. I'm not even sure how many jobs seek that sort of stuff out. But I think getting into the JavaScript ecosystem is a good thing. Just because you can use it for back end, you can use it for front end, and it's powerful. So, and like there's so many APIs.
React creates beautiful
browser.
websites.
It does. And it's so, I don't want to use the word meta, but it is meta in the sense you can build a component as part of something else. And you can reuse that in other ways that you've not even imagined when you originally coded it in the first place. And there's just been many instances of that. So if I quickly hop over here, we have a wee synthesizer. I'm not going to hit any buttons, but there's a sound API basically in the browser. And basically, I was able to just configure that to act as a synthesizer. You can control pitch, sustain, delay. I love web. It doesn't require any downloads, and it's just API after
It's better
API.
to master one language first.
Yeah.
It should be good enough that you can formulate. What are the project idea you suggest as a beginner?
I think games are good to start. Like, I'll give you an example, or even just little utility programs. So this isn't Canvas. This is just little, it's like, if I remember right, it's literally Flexbox. Yes, these are just little divs. So these are little elements in a page, and I just set the background
React
color.
is on my list to learn more.
Please do. This is literally React right here. Each one of those little elements. And so I did hook this up to Canvas as well. So if I pull this up even higher, you see in the bottom right down there, that is an actual Canvas element representing, bear with me, it's 3:20 in the morning now. And usually that's fine, but I'm like severely underslept and quite excited right now. So what we're dealing with right here, I could pull up the code even. We're we're dealing with a React component. It's a functional component. Like this little swatch right here is just an existing library I just pulled in.
Honestly, people like you make me still want to learn, amidst this vibe AI coding.
Yeah, no, 100%. And listen, you can take advantage of AI, but like it all starts with like ideas and
yeah, games are
inspiration.
way to go. It will seem complex initially, but builds crazy amount of command.
Crazy amount, and you're going to get exposure to, like, I seen a video on YouTube and it had like 100,000 views, and it's like developers don't know how to use WebSockets. I'm like, how? Because like, when you come to a game, like you're going to be using this, you're going to familiarize yourself with sockets if you want to do anything multiplayer, and they're not anything crazy, but like for the most part, developers like web specifically don't have a whole lot of reason to use that. At least I've seen in my experience, and I've been doing this a bloody while. I just love web though. You can tie everything together. So we're gonna pull up the code actually, just take opportunity. Got Visual Studio Code here. I think it's called Paint. It's been a while since I set this up. That's the coolest thing about this project here, though, specifically, is picking like a game that I wanted to work on, and then just coding new features or learning new tools, and then just kind of putting it all in one place. I think that's fun, because it's not just individual little projects, it's all compiled into one thing, and over time it starts to look impressive, even if it's not. Okay, it's called Pixel. It just came to me. Nope, it's not.
Do you guys think future React will by default have features of Next.js?
I'd hope though. We better start leaning that direction. I definitely feel like we went a bit backwards when it comes to like search engine optimization when it comes to React and Vue. Like, you know, moving from PHP myself, I remember that change. It's like, well, how is Google indexing this? How, you know? So I need to actually pull this code down so you can see it.
Must I learn JavaScript to the fullest before I move to the next stack?
Well, what is it that you like want to accomplish? Like, I think that's a good question, because like JavaScript's always going to be part of like a lot of people's stacks, I think, like depending on what you're building. Quickly catching myself up here. So it's like the potatoes down here. So we have a component called Paint App.
If you can retain it all long term, otherwise expand.
Yeah, don't turn down exposure. Do not. That's why I like JavaScript though, because if you want to build like a bloody, I don't know, a native application for iOS, and you can do like 80% of the functionality with like React or React Native or some combination of those, because yeah, sometimes it makes sense to do things in web views where you want to reuse that code as opposed to not. There's going to be situations and cases where you're going to have to jump down into the Java or jump down into the Swift, and like that's going to just expose you to new technology anyway. If you want to build like a Steam app but you want to code it in web, like you're going to have to pick like a...
One thing for sure, if you master JS, then you will be 60% good in Python.
Yep. And you'll find like even just a lot of the even the function names are very, very similar, and like with the AI now, like it's not even comparable. But like when I was like
picking PHP up and I was more familiar with JavaScript back in the day, I would just Google like the equivalent, you know, like math.abs or math.floor, and you know, PHP.
These both languages have similar nuances. I feel like starting out is going to be starting with the easiest, strongly used languages to produce drive and opportunity.
Yep, and exactly, because you're going to get inspired by seeing what other people have coded and are coding, and yeah, pick a larger language. When I first got into JavaScript, the majority of the people were actually coding in ActionScript back then, ActionScript 2 at the time. And, there was a forum called moccforum.com, and I used to post updates about the project I was working on there. And I remember getting trashed for it, like, don't use web, like you can't even do this or that, you know, because there was no native WebSocket support for web then. But there was workarounds, there was bespoke solutions basically. There was Comet.js. So if you type in
Is it
Comet
true now,
JS,
tech winter? Because a lot of companies laying off employees.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we're in a wee bit of a tech winter. I've seen a huge movement from not just laying off employees like in America where I'm now, but hiring overseas and just completely, you know, spinning up an indie office, and worked with some great developers over there, and I still do every day. But I'll be honest, man, I've seen a lot of people put in tough spots. But then again, I've also seen almost every single one of them jump off into better opportunities. So, but it's a time of change, to say the least.
Most people don't realize the importance of SQL. Major website credentials are stored in SQL databases.
Whoa, that's an interesting point, PH Designs. I've seen a fragmentation from like full stack to like specialized now, but so when I started coding, at least there was no such thing as
SQL
like
is
a
easy
front-end developer.
and essential.
Yeah, exactly. And you should be familiar with being able to spin up a database, MySQL, or you should be okay looking into like MongoDB. So I'm using Mongo in this case for the rooms and items, just because you can have a room with like 10,000 tiles and we need to be able to retrieve and update those really quickly. So there's going to be cases where you might have to, you know, use SQL to manage your maybe your database, your user tables, things like that, your room lists. But when it actually comes to like data you're gonna have a lot of, we're going to
MongoDB brings back memories.
Yeah. And see, this is kind of an annoying thing that's happened with the whole quote-unquote cloud. I call it quote-unquote because it's just a bloody server running on someone else's...
RuneScape days.
Running on someone else's computer. With Amazon specifically, like they were pushing people to DynamoDB, and you just get locked into their crap, and then end up having to pay the exorbitant prices or not knowing how to get out of there. And I see a lot of companies fall for that trap, and developers as well. Do not tie yourself to Amazon or any of Azure's offerings, unless you get a benefit from it.
Surprisingly, I watched a 12-minute SQL video regarding CRUD. These fundamentals are essential. One can refer this video for beginning. I found it random BTW.
Yep, no, absolutely. Create, read, and update, like that. No matter what you do, you're gonna need like the same operations again and again and again. Like, yeah. And I've not even spoke about any of the back end that I've set up for Kynto here. We're just the front end. But for me, it all starts with what you see in this little browser window, and that spiders off into everything else. It spiders up to your databases, your WebSockets, your media sharing, and what have you. But
for example, so in this paint screen I have right here, these little boxes represent pixels, and at the bottom of the screen it has an image representation there. The whole point of this is so you could come in and like
What is your
update
age?
assets. I am 33, and I've been coding since I was 12. And I haven't really lost the passion for it one bit. It's still pretty much what I do. I have noticed it's got a wee bit more isolated though, or isolating in a weird way.
Nicey. Same, and same age.
Right, there you go. That's interesting to hear that. Yeah, what is it? The dead internet theory. I appreciate you guys. And make sure you guys subscribe or like can join the Discord so we can do this again.
Do you do anything with AI?
So we do have.
What is the most seeked jobs?
Alright, so yep, I do stuff with AI. One example is here. I did integrate AI avatars, so I could explore that. Like I had one generate tile maps for rooms, and kind of role-playing functionality and crap like that. I integrated that on the nodejs side. Like there's going to be APIs that you don't want to expose keys to on the front end, so someone can't just come in and take like your ChatGPT key or your OpenAI key and then use that and rack up against a bunch of charges against you. So like that's what I mean, where it all starts in this little web browser, and from there it's going to spider into other things. Like you're going to be like, well,
is this project live
have to have
like deployed?
Yes, yep, it is. If you go to kyntoparty.com, you can actually hop on this. You'd actually be able to join this room.
I would love to check it out.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I know the coolest thing too is if you come on and you have like projects you want to share and stuff.
That's true, never expose API and secret lol.
100%. But you could come on and actually share screens. So like say like you guys have something you want to share each other, show
Please
each other
share
and
link.
yourself. You can do it that way. Right, let me drop it. And let's see next one. So the most in-demand jobs, I think it's just literally your React and Vue. If you're talking like quote front end and Python, all that. I mean, but I still see people getting employed working in a monolithic Java
Got it,
applications.
thanks.
Yep, brilliant. Definitely going to try to hop on a wee bit earlier tomorrow, and maybe we could do this again. Got a ton to work through. I've only got a couple of proper videos that I've put together on the channel, kind of explaining like some of the things I've coded for this, but there is one that I'd recommend you guys check out if you can, and it kind of explains the WebRTC streaming tool part of this, because like I'm sure if you
Gaku_Cian joined Christmas 2024. Does it annoy you delaying and cutting you off when you speak?
So it's definitely something to get used to, but I think it's actually pretty cool. It's kind of like it's having a conversation more so than a monologue. I actually kind of like that. But it's definitely got me thinking. I'm gonna have to add in some toggles and settings so I can maybe temporarily mute it or temporarily like delay the chats and then have them read out after I'm finished. So I'll actually write that down. That's a good segue to a good idea right there. It more annoys me that bloody mouse doesn't work when it's supposed to. I think it's dying. Right on the phone now.
Because that's the other interesting thing about coding something like this. Don't really figure out.
Yeah, I figured there should be a trigger to delay the speech to text after your microphone isn't active.
100%, 100%, and yeah, keep the ideas coming. It's like we'll work on that tomorrow, and like show you the whole build process and how to deploy it and get it up there, and then you'll be able to see the
Gaku_Cian joined
change.
Gaku_Cian first room.
Awesome. Please give me feedback. I see one of you in there exploring. Let's see who that is. All the avatars stacking up. That's pretty cool. I did code it so they're supposed to time out and disappear if you've not chatted in a while. Oh, but you guys can actually, like, if you type the wardrobe command, it'll update your coding.
Wait, you built this speech to text thing? It's not part of YouTube.
100%. Yep. I can walk through the code and explain how I did that. It's back end, front end, fun stuff. And we're just taking advantage of the accessibility API that's built right into every browser, Firefox and Chrome.
That's a neat project.
100%. 100%. I appreciate that. There's good variety here, isn't there? You can see all your usernames and chats in the system here. And one of the features that I wanted to wrap up was giving every chatter a unique voice as well. So I think I'm going to be focusing on some updates for the chat system because I think it's one of the most
I like to 3D model and 3D print as well.
What sort of stuff are you working on, PH Designs? Because that's a whole rabbit hole right there as well, isn't it? And what printer do you have? I think this has definitely been like the most successful stream I've done here, so I appreciate you guys.
Guns, tasers, security equipment. Creole ID K1C.
Interesting. One of the first things I ever like put together was I forgot the name of it, but there's like a website where like it's basically a CAD on a website, and you can specify like how many millimeters this and that's supposed to be. And I just made these little connectors to hold soaker hoses together in pots, and it works really well. I was very proud of it. Kind of like a Y on both sides. I'll grip the hose.
What printer do you have?
Have a quick look. I started off with a Solidoodle 2.
Gaku_Cian joined Gaku_Cian first room.
Hear that? One of you guys are making a room, that's brilliant. I started off with the Solidoodle 2, which is way more configurable than the one I've got now, but this is the Adventurer 5M Pro. One I have here. Let me see, I should be able to share my screen. That would be cool if I can show this whole functionality working. So I could pull up the app on my phone and share from the living room. Let's see if that works. Forget the dust. So that's my other character just joined the room.
Cool.
That's on my phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it back, triple camera. So that's what we got here. Is this a plug in? It's not plugged in. Oops. I just noticed that with the being duplicate and audio, but this is WebRTC for you. Works. But the printer does do pretty flawless prints, pretty happy with it. One more time.
What's the bed size?
Maybe 8 by 8 or 12 by 12. I hope it's 12 by 12. Yeah, it looks closer to 12 by 12. It's definitely bigger than the Solid though. It's 6 by 6. Still have it, it's in the closet. I'm not a big fan of throwing old technology out. Like, got all sorts of
How
stuff.
much math did you use for this project? Topic-wise.
It's a good question. So funny enough, in school, like I got a really hard time for an algebra teacher. At the time, not realizing that like I was learning it myself. Not as much as you'd think, but not as complicated as you think. Like simple operations, but it's definitely a part of it. Like
Inches. Don't you use millimeters?
that's a good question. So I've lived in Florida for about as long as I've been coding. So that's why I use inches. I'm originally from Scotland though. Yep, Florida.
Did you say Florida?
Love Florida because of the ocean.
Haha, that's where I grew up.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
You plan to monetize this project?
So I'm champion. That's a good question. We'd have to explore what ways there is to do such a thing. I've always been very bad with monetizing anything I've ever built for myself. I'll be honest. But it would be good to be able to grow it. If that makes sense. Like get additional help or like scale up building. Beach designs, I'm in a, you know, West Palm Beach area. That's where I'm out of. One of the opportunities I did see that's a kind of a gap is OBS and wireless cameras. You have to pay quite a bit if you want to use your phone as like a wireless camera.
Yes, sir.
Source for OBS.
I was on the other side. Naples area.
Interesting. Okay, so when I first moved to America, it was to Fort Myers. That's where I came to. Pine Island. Hello, Vinny. But
Okay,
please, guys.
that's where I lived, LOL.
Oh, that's funny. That's brilliant.
Do you stream every day in YouTube?
Ramistro, I am gonna give
South
it a go.
side of Fort Myers.
If I'll be on
239.
I'll be on again tomorrow. I'm definitely earlier just because of like you guys tonight. This was fantastic. So definitely keep an eye out. There is a Discord link in the description, and just make sure you drop a like or subscribe on the channel because I've been like shooting the crap into the wind for a while to, like, I knew there's people interested in this, and I just had to, you know, keep streaming even if no one's watching and no one cared.
Subscribed.
Appreciate you guys. All right. Any other?
Beautiful saluting face.
Hello, Florida woman, Jamie Lynn. This is Jamie Lynn. She was actually one of the major forces behind me even creating the whole wireless streaming from your phone into like YouTube and OBS, because she started live streaming but couldn't do it from her phone because you needed like more than 1,000 subscribers at the time to do that. So like it actually came out of a need as well. YouTube makes it a wee bit difficult. If you guys are interested in fishing or fly tying, give it a subscribe. And any other topics or ideas or questions, feel free to...
I am stoked to use to get all my fishing peeps together, stoked raising hands. So she used her brain to build a solution. That's incredible. High five.
She took full advantage of Kynto to do what she needed to do, that's for sure. And she's doing very well now on her every channel. She's growing it quite quickly. Like, it's crazy. I've seen streams where she's had like 150 people on, and I was like, whoa. And what's really cool about Jamie Lynn as well is she's actually done a lot of pixel art for Kynto. Definitely. See if I can pull some of that up now. So, like, Jamie, you can say, like, you never did pixel art before, any computer art.
You just need business minds, then you all are good to go.
I'm champion. I think
I am probably the opposite of a tech person, however, only due to my limitations. Happy to be able to be involved. Saluting face.
It's quite annoying, PH Designs. If you're not a mod on a channel and chat, you can't just tap on someone's like profile and pull it up. Very, very annoying. Jamie, I think you should maybe join us for a streaming to show some of the stuff you've created. The Pico 8 stuff is very interesting because of the Lua component of it, coding games. And the art you did as well. And to your point, Iron Champion, that's very, very true. And probably gonna have to wind this down, even though this is incredibly fun. So once again, just make sure you check out the Discord link. I'll be around tomorrow, hopefully a bit earlier. We'll give this a go again. And happy to jump into the text-to-speech part of this. Also want to code a plugin for Twitch. Well, they already have text-to-speech. I want to tie it into Kynto here, so it's all tied into one place.
AI does a lot of my work. I know how to talk to it and finesse it, so it really makes coding faster.
Prompt design is definitely...
Never hesitate on my end to y'all raising hands.
Big shout out to PH Designs, I am champion, and there's a couple of areas that definitely enjoyed talking to. Everyone tonight has been great. Tin, I can't scroll up, so I can't. We got a list here.
Do you work from office or from home?
Pat Choi, I work from home.
Rest well.
which I enjoy. Jamie definitely does need a shout out. I'm champion. Good call. Appreciate PH Designs. Appreciate all you guys. Have a great night.
Hey champion.
And the cool thing is, even if I terminate like my part of the stream here, I could actually technically leave this up. I won't, but like you guys could like still talk. Like,
Hope your night is golden.
Streams. Let's see if I can.
It's afternoon at my place. Though appreciated.
Good afternoon.
Happy night, y'all.